What a foretaste of glory divine, here of salvation, purchase of God, born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. This is my story. Yes, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, here of salvation, purchase of God. Sing with me. Born of His Spirit and washed in His blood. This is my story, and this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. We bless your name tonight, Lord, and we thank you. We thank you for everything that we are about to receive, even that which we have not asked for. But mostly, Lord, we thank you for sending your Son, Jesus Christ. Guide us tonight. Amen. Hello, everyone. It is Big Stone Day, so I hear. And but those are small things. We'll talk about them later on. We have quite a few things to cover. And we're going to start with the big things. So Big Stone Day that marks him of a mole in a circle. Now I'm trying to figure out, first of all, I figure out where's Mark in a circle. Then we can maybe start looking for the mole. But first we have to find him in a circle. I suppose I'm talking about him Sanctum Sanctorum, and him said there's a mole in it. So all of that. But maybe it's in the ceiling, maybe it's in the window, I don't know, maybe it's in the wall, or maybe the mole in his face. Maybe I try to get out of bottom. We don't know about Mark looking for a mole. Whatever that is, it's there. Now tonight, what a talk. God help us. God help us. Help us, Lord. Can't do this without you, Jesus. Can't do this without you. You know, one of the things that really, really galls me, we're going to start from, the only way to start, because there are so many things, is from the very beginning. So let's start from the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. When you count, it's 1, 2, 3, and when you sing, it's do, re, mi. So let's start from the very beginning. And we're going to start with the hottest topics, which will be segued into other topics instead of moving from topic to topic. We'll just move right through it because all of it is connected in one way, shape, or form. Okay? So let's get rid of Mrs. Mallow Fort out of the whole thing. I see Mrs. Mallow Fort presentation to the Parliament much different than most people do. First of all, Mrs. Mallow Fort is no longer a Minister of Government. That would be the number one reason for her to get up and speak her mind the way she did. Secondly, Mrs. Mallow Fort could easily get up in the Parliament and said what she said as a member of the Jamaica Labour Party, as a member of Parliament on the Jamaica Labour Party ticket, and she will suffer absolutely no repercussion about it. Let me start again. Mrs. Mallow Fort is not a minister, but Mrs. Mallow Fort enjoys the right of getting up in the Parliament as a backbencher and say what you feel about a particular thing, and there will be absolutely zero blowback on that. She will not face any kind of consequences. None at all. People will grumble and people will say she should have done this, and there was a platform internally for her to say what she wanted to say. Maybe she never feel like she could. There might have been an opening, a platform, opportunities, as one minister put it, for her to say what she wanted to say internally. But one of the perks of being a backbencher is that you can get up and knock around those who are front benchers and middle benchers. Mrs. Mallow Fort is inconsequential in the scheme of things, and her thoughts that she expressed in the Parliament and got loud banging of desk from the opposition side. I don't know, there must be ningrins over there, because if it takes a government minister to get them banging on desk and jumping up and down like monkeys, then they're in a sad state, really sad state. But Mrs. Mallow Fort will not have to worry that somebody's going to come down to her constituency and tell her that you can't run back, or why you resign now, and give her the jazz about anything. Nobody's going to do that. So let's look at it from this point of view. Could any member, any at all of whom are backbenchers, no matter who's sitting at the front, they are opposition, 28 clowns, could any one of them have gotten up and did what Mrs. Mallow Fort did and survived? Answer that question. Could any of them, could Damien Crawford get up in Parliament and say, boy, I'm not agreeing with Mark Goldman about all of this, you know. I support the thing. Could he? Without some consequences, without some blowback? I don't think so. Yeah, let me pause. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Great evening to you all. Good to have you. Thank you for joining me. Forgive my manners. I was inviting Jesus to the program, so I never get to say welcome. Yeah, welcome to you all. Could any member of that 28 clown across the free in a dilapidated Parliament, maybe that's one reason why them behave so can play so dilapidated, could any of them have gotten up and said, boy, I wouldn't agree with Mark? One of them, just one. Not one of them could have done what Mrs. Mallow Fort did. And yes, there might be some members of the Jamaica Labour Party, government side, who would be a little bit, peakish about what Mrs. Mallow Fort said. But you know what, just sit down on the backside and keep yourself quiet and leave Mrs. Mallow Fort to talk. You all might say, there was an opportunity for her to say it internally. Well, at least I hope, I wish, and I hope that was the case. But don't take it from her. She's not a minister no more. She had an opportunity to get up and say something for the very first time in her political life. She had an opportunity to get up and stand up in the Parliament and say exactly how she feels about a particular piece of legislation that has been put forward. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is cause for celebration. It is cause for celebration. Because nobody else over the other side, Not a single soul could get up and say that them disagree with them Bakramasa. They could not. They may have to keep himself quiet because him getting seat in a very frisky kind of way, and them can take what at any time them want. Anybody who feel like them can get up and talk can lose their seat. Somebody was telling them, boy, you know, run back, or somebody just come challenge him. Nobody's going to trouble Mrs. Mallow Ford. And that, I think, is the takeaway from Mrs. Mallow Ford presentation. At least to me. Because I'm thinking that Mrs. Mallow Ford is not a minister. And probably nobody will tell her nothing. And she probably said something to one or two people who dismiss her because on a long-tone man over there, so all on not the JLP long-tone man, they must wait. Me not talking the PLP long-tone man, the JLP long-tone man, uno, one on full of crap too. So maybe she said something to somebody, or one person or two person, I want to dismiss it. I am saying maybe. I don't put it past uno, because that's how uno arrogant and stay. Uno think uno arrive. You know, who would want to behave like, uno arrive, uno behave like, Jesus walking through the place and the man them throwing on the palm leaf and walking on palm leaf, uno not Jesus. So I say, hail to Mrs. Mallow Ford, let her speak. I don't agree with anything that she says. I don't agree with all the things, but there's absolutely nothing that Mrs. Mallow Ford said that I agree with. But then all of that also tied up with what the 28 clowns over the next side are said. And it tied up with the 28 people who call themselves civil society, what them are said too. So it's 28 all around. I'm just going to knock each of them off of them keys tonight without any apology. I am going to have to set them straight tonight. So we'll get rid of Mrs. Mallow Ford and fear argument. The opposition People's National Party, and particularly Mark Golding, ever since the election, and particularly after Hurricane Melissa, he seems to have adopted a posture where he believes that the opposition should be co-government. Government should invite them to this. Government should talk to them about that. Government should make sure they're involved in that. Government should do this. Government should do that. Well, Marky G, in case nobody never enlighten you, let me enlighten you. This is not a co-government. There is a reason why the people of this country went out on September 3rd, 2025 and voted overwhelmingly for the Jamaica Labour Party and not you. And in this country, there are winners and there are losers. The winners form the government, the losers are opposition. Your basic job as opposition is to steer Vox Party there and oppose. All where you want you can oppose. We oppose to that. We oppose to this. We do agree with that. We disagree with that. We don't like that. You can do all that all day long. It's part of your job. That's why you call opposition. But when it comes to running government, there's no there's no partnership. There's no co-government. Opposition has absolutely nothing to do with government. But there was a time in this country, two successive governments, Mr. Seaga not so much, Manley to a lesser extent, but it was P.J. Patterson who brought it to a level where a lot of people outside of government suddenly believe that they have a contribution to make, and that contribution is to tell government what to do. And that contribution is to say to government, you can't do that unless you include me. And you can't do that unless you include us. And if you're going to do that, come sit down with me. P.J. Patterson was the one who started to entertain that level of engagement with some of them people there. Most of them. And he started it by, I remember when there was this lady who was head of the Nurses Association. Every time a sector give the government a problem, them run out and give the leader of that organization some position. Syringa Marshall Burnett, head of the Nursing Association. She was named senator because she was loud. And the government figured out a way to shut them up is to give them position. The problem with these groupings and the Andrew Holness administration is that nobody now take them up on that. That is not how this operates here, so that different government there's. PJ used to do that. And I hate to say it and Joma repeat it again, but it was also part of the corruption. It was. Because when you want to shut up somebody like a Trevor Monroe, and him go form this NIA organization, and you put him in the Senate, and you name an ex-senator, and you go on because you want to include civil society in government. It was a mistake. It was a grave mistake, because it was from then that they believe that them have some say in government, and they do not. I want you to understand, remember, be clear about some things, you know. Every single citizen in this country have the right to cast a vote. I would imagine that some people in civil society also cast a vote. I am almost 100% sure that them don't cast those votes for the GLP member of parliament. Maybe one and two. Maybe Mr. Chuck and Mr. Samuda in his time. Maybe one and two might have voted for Delano and definitely Delroy Chuck and young fellow over Northwest St. Andrew there. One and two people from that ilk would have cast a vote for a GLP MP. When PJ started taking civil society and placing them in our government, independent senators, I mean, at the time, everybody hailed it as something progressive. We now know that it was not good. It was not a good thing. Could not have been. And why did they name Trevor Monroe? Because he was the loudest voice. Everyone could think him out there with him look a shot at herself saying something with that way that he says something, because he speaks very good English, and him come out and he make some speech and them everybody ray and Dr. Trevor Monroe said this and they said that. I'm going to take it a little bit because I'm still having a slight headache. And then put him past Senate. And Trevor Monroe skillfully used that platform to cleanse himself, to bathe himself in the oil of goodness and the oil of decency and the oil of an upstanding citizen. Remake himself. There's nothing wrong with remaking yourself. But I'd like to advise and give some information to all of those offshoot groups that came about as a result of the Trevor Monroe thing. Because that's where it started. Trevor Monroe and him thing, Jamaicans for Justice, NIA, God knows what else. All of them offshoot from his first stand as a cloaking himself in a civil service capacity. You know, there was a movie in 2000, released in either 2005 or 2006, a Spike Lee movie named Inside Man. Very, very good movie. Big movie when it came out. Big movie financially, commercially, big movie critically. It was an acclaimed movie. The Inside Man, starring Clive Owen. And Clive Owen is a very good actor, but he don't get much movies. That's suffice to say. Children of a Lesser God, something like that. Yeah, he was in it. But in Inside Man, Clive Owen, Jodie Foster, Denzel Washington, Christopher Plummer played Arthur. The plot of the movie was simple. Some man go to the bank, hold the bank hostage, said about rob the bank, then everybody get left out. Nobody could figure out who the robbers were. It was a brilliant script. Brilliant script. But here's a twist of the movie that makes it so good. In the bank, Clive Owen, who was the inside man, got through all of the safety deposit boxes in the bank. They never came out with a dollar, not even a dollar, because they went in there for some specialized diamonds, which they got. But Clive Owen, the smart bank robber, also chose that bank for a particular reason. He chose the bank because it was the first bank that the owner of the bank started after World War II. And after they researched him, they discovered that he was in bed with the Nazis during World War II, and he did some things. And like all criminal, wicked, evil minds, he couldn't help himself. He saved some stuff. Arthur, played by Christopher Plummer, he had a flag in one of the safety deposit box, the Nazi flag. The first flag that Hitler raised when Hitler became Chancellor in 1933. He had it as a gift from Hitler. And he's in build the bank and him secured 2 safety deposit boxes as his personal safety deposit boxes. And it's his first bank, so it's his flagship bank. So him feel like him safe to put these things there. So there's the flag, the Nazi flag. There are the gems that Clive went looking for. And then there is a ring taken from a prominent Jewish family during World War II. And according to the script and how it was flowing and the dialogue, the ring not only belonged to a prominent Jewish family, it belonged to a prominent Jewish family that Arthur sold out and took the ring. And typical criminals, him have it. So at the end of the movie, Denzel have the ring because Denzel Washington played the policeman, good cop, not a criminal. Of course, Clive Owen gave him one of the gems. I'm going to tell you why I'm telling you a story, you know. And he kept the ring. But Denzel gave the ring to Jodie Foster, who was playing she was a kind of a fixer for Arthur. She get things done for him and charge him big money. And it was going to haunt him, and that's how the movie. Brilliant script. Brilliant directing from Spike Lee. I mean, I'm not a Spike Lee fan in terms of his movie, but this one was pretty good. Now, here's the thing about it. The message that the bank robber wanted to send. Arthur was in bed with the Nazis. At the end of World War II, he started his banking business. And this was his flagship bank, the first one. And because of his guilty conscience of all the bad things that he did and how he helped the Nazis steal jewelry and art from the Jewish people, his conscience bother him. So him spend his entire life wrapping himself in charity and goodness, being a paragon of virtue, give away money left, right, and center, black schools, Jewish educational center, everything. He was just one of the greatest guy on the face of the earth. The guilt was rocking him and wrap himself in that. So let me shoot off now to come back to that and tell you why I'm telling you that. Go back to Trevor Monroe, because it's him start all of this. And PJ gave him the platform to do it. And now these set now that come after him, when Mr. Chang said them have an organization built on blood money, let me repeat it, they have an organization built on blood money. In this country, you will find labor rights that say, Michael Manley, the first man for bring gun in Jamaica. Michael Manley bring gun in Jamaica. And you'll find PNP people say, no sir, a Siaga bring gun in Jamaica. And then you'll find some people say, a Joan God Webley bring gun in Jamaica. Or some people would say, a Tony Spalding and Dudley Thompson, Carl Thompson, my former MP. All of them man the name call about bringing guns. Them even says Paul Burke. I don't tell a lie upon Paul Burke. I don't give him much credit for it. I mean, stop it. All of them man them say, bringing guns in Jamaica. But here's the thing that them also say, and this one is the only fact of all that them say, that Trevor Monroe was the first man to bring gun in Jamaica. And after all that he did in those days, and Farming Workers' Party of Jamaica, he decided to bathe and put on perfume, suit, and wrap himself in papers of virtue, in clothes of virtue, and start holding people accountable. People must be held accountable for things, and him know he's not been held accountable. All them held accountable for all them do yet. So him never take them cue from. So me I tell them, say him already cleanse himself. Maybe more by me are the one that can't dead. When if him sick, I don't wish him no ill. I don't know. Don't know nothing about him. I don't know what's wrong with him. Or the thing. But maybe more than can't dead because of all the wickedness that they have done. I know him set up them other one, you know, to come antagonize government about stuff. And there we have them. Now, under normal circumstances, people, let's talk to Jamaican people. I want to share the life, please. Share the life. I'm going to call up some people name I want to share the life with them. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with civil society. You know, Jamaicans for Justice, the Brotherhood, I don't know what them I do, the Environmental Trust. Nothing wrong with them having things to say. Government face criticism every day. It's part of the job. But for them to start believing that they have some kind of special privilege that them should be getting, I am here to tell them that they have absolutely zero special privilege. We are other voters like everybody else. We don't have no special privilege. And government not good in no position. And government not set up no committee and put them in charge and nothing. We can't stand the fact that something going to go on and money are going out and we're not a part of it. We don't like when nothing happen for the poor people of this country and we don't have no hand them in it. And that is what I be to them. I really disagree with Cliff Hughes. But Cliff, you're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Government do have to have no engagement with these group of people. And I'm going to tell you why. No engagement, Cliff. This is not 20 years ago. Government don't even talk to them for the mere fact that they have all established themselves already as PNP mouthpieces. They are not diligent, patriotic, independent-minded people. They are there to make the government life hard because they have established themselves as PNP mouthpieces. They are not independent-minded people. They don't want to be a part of any process to contribute positively, to help, to build. No, they want to be in a position to tear down while them thief. They want to be in a position to mash it up while them thief. They want to be in a position to come give statement and they're on TV and they're on radio. That is their motive. So no, Cliff. Government don't want an engagement with them. Because in this country and every other democracy across the world, except for places like Canada, who form government with six different parties, and France too, because Macron had to form a government with several different parties for him to actually remain president. We don't have that. We don't have that. One party win, one party loses. One government. There's no co-government, no deputy government, no assistant government. Just one government. And for years, ever since Mark Golding became president of the People's National Party, they have been haggling as if they believe that government have some kind of responsibility to meet them halfway and to include them in stuff. There are certain constitutional and parliamentary things that them and government have to work on. There are some things. But government policy is government policy. They have nothing to do with opposition. Because them and a co-government and Mark Golding have been playing all the time like my co-prime minister. Mr. Holding must meet with me and I want to this. I will want that. You want crap? That's not how this thing work. No Chris. No Cliff. That's not how this thing work. They're not government. The group of people, the 28 group of people that saying that government must engage them. I ask you, Cliff Hughes, why? On what should government engage them on? Them call themselves a 28 group. What are they doing? What is Jamaican for Justice? Who don't know who justice is? Who have not been assisting anybody with justice? The others may not know them one. The woman she from the Environmental Trust. That's your organization. Let me bring up our name. The lady from the Environmental Trust. Yeah, I got you. I got the whole owner. Don't worry. I got you covered. Everybody getting covered tonight. Everybody who want coverage will get coverage tonight. Fear not. We got it covered for you. Fear not. Everybody going to get coverage. All right? So here is she, the lady from the Jamaica Environmental Trust, who for some strange reason believe that she must have a say in what government is doing. And I would like to ask her a question. I can't find it. I would like to ask her a question. I think her name is Moody. Some abbreviated name that she has. I would like to ask her, what has her organization done since here we go it. The Jamaican Environmental Trust Chief Executive Officer Dr. Teresa Rodriguez Moody says the government must accept criticisms about deficiencies in the bill to establish NARA. Must, Mr. Risa? Must? I don't know go school. What you're doctor, you have doctorate. You have doctorate, you must have more sense than that. Let's use must. You have a doctorate, you must have more sense than that. You can't tell government what they must do. Nobody can do. Only people the government is accountable to are the people of this country. Nancy Pelosi said it. In 2010, when the Democratic Party is about to lose their majority in the House, they won the House and the Senate with Obama in 2008. By 2009, they were already losing. The Republicans were about to sweep the House and won with a 63 House seat turnaround and take back the House and the Senate from them in 2010. So early 2010, they decided that they are going to do the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. 435 members in the House of Representatives. The Democrats, I believe, at the time had like 17 or 18, maybe a little more, lead, more than the Republicans. So Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House. And when they started to put the legislation together, every day the Democrats were out there touting the bill, and as they move from the mic, the Republicans and go and shoot down the bill. And everybody have their own politics going on. When it came to voting, the time for voting, I think it was March in 2010, 34 Democrats did not support that bill. The bill got passed, but 34 Democrats did not support the bill because those 34 come from states or districts where McCain won, heavily Republican districts, and their polling tell them that them people don't like Obamacare, so if they vote for it, them dead. So them they vote for it. But not one Republican, and I mean that is not one Republican voted for that bill in 2010. A couple of them voted for it when it came back for renewal and all of that. Yeah, about 17, 18 of them. But when that first bill went, not one Republican voted for that bill. But it passed because all the Democrats need was a simple majority. Government is government. And people ask Nancy Pelosi, when the talking heads them on the right-wing talk show radio and the talking heads them on the Fox News and on the right-wing TV, them come on, it wasn't a bill that's a bipartisan bill because no Republican supported the bill. That was the argument that all of them was making. And somebody asked Nancy Pelosi, I think it might have been Dana Bash, who asked Nancy Pelosi, don't you think it would have made better sense to have had more support from other stakeholders? The pharmaceutical industries, they were screaming red. No one to talk to them. Nancy Pelosi said, we don't have to talk to them. It's a private industry where make money. They want to continue to make money off the back of poor people. We don't chat to them. And when Dana Bash asked her, well, other people Nancy Pelosi said the only persons that we have any obligation to have any discussion with, the only stakeholders in all of this, are the voters of this country. So no, Cliff, these people are stakeholders. They cannot show what they are doing in this country. Do you know anything, Cliff, that they're doing? Shed me some things that you know JFJ is doing. I don't know if the environmental trusts have been down to St. Elizabeth or Manchester yet, to see if everything environmentally friendly and going down there. I don't know what they have done yet. So if they do something or doing something to help the country as organization, then tell us. We could tell the government, say, yes, the people must be involved because they must do something. But what are they doing? Except bash government and create a myth in the country that they have something to say and they should be involved in this. No! No! And maybe yes, if they weren't so political, if they weren't so high-strung during the elections, interfering left, right, and center on behalf of Masamak, if they weren't that, but they thought that the CM drum that Trevor Monroe beat to cloak himself and wash off all them crimes with soap and pretty suit, and get to be senator and get to be a man where get invited to everything. They have figured that if they keep beating that drum, the government is going to invite them to sit on something or to be on something. I am telling you, I am not saying that they are not in civil society who could help, but if this government, and it's government prerogative, not mine, but if this government choose to bow to these people and take up these people, them trash here, who don't mean government or the people of the country any good, and put them in a kind of committee to have the engagement with them about anything. So hell, God is my witness. It's not going to go down well with me. And I'm going to be loud about it. Prime Minister is the Prime Minister, and he must make decisions in the best interest of the country. And that's his first responsibility. Keep us safe and make decisions in our best interest. And right now, our best interest is not served by these people. They have established themselves to being political talking mouth about them chat, them parrots for PMP. Nothing that they have said or done would suggest to me, maybe it has been said, I'm going to suggest to you, maybe some other people have some different information that I'd want to like a minister come out and say, we have a dialogue with the Jamaica Environmental Trust. I'd like Minister Samuda to say, well, the Jamaica Environmental Trust is down in Westmoreland with us, or down in St. Elizabeth with us, and them doing some work on their own account, them have their own money. I would like somebody to say that. I would like, well, listen to me. If Minister Chang can say that Jamaicans for Justice and all them civil society was built on blood money, it's clear that they have done nothing to help the minister in his fight against crime, except to buck him at every chance them get. Every chance them get to beat up at our police for doing them job. Every chance them get to beat down the minister and the ministry and the police for keeping people safe. Them want to hear Jews that locked down under curfew for 2 weeks. Them want to hear say Jungle under curfew. Them want to hear say Anatown under curfew. Them want to hear say Waltham under curfew. What the hell them talking about? Them protect? Because not we. Mr. Chan's responsibility is to protect we. By whatever means necessary to protect we. Everybody wants a piece of government because everybody's seeking a position in something. Don't be fooled. This is not no blanket patriotic argument that they're making. No, that is not it. This ain't it at all. This is arguments to enhance themselves, to say them can build themselves. They believe the louder that they talk, that the possibilities exist, that they might get to sit on something. And the Prime Minister announced that this and that is cheering that and that is on it. I very rarely, if any at all, agree with anything that Diane Jackson Miller ever said, because she's a political operative too. She has lost her status as a fear journalist. That she's not anymore. Don't know if she's doing a wash off to like Trevor Monroe. But she said something that I agree with. Talk to we, the government. Talk to we, man. Anything the government have to say, go out and talk to the people. Mr. Holness is the first Prime Minister since Michael Manley to have taken the road that he did from 2024. He has been on the road. And he walk every nook and cranny of the country and talk to people. Him just need to talk to people. Just talk to the voters. Talk to the people in them communities. Relate to them. Engage the people. You don't need to engage a group because those groups don't represent the people. Who do they represent? What gives them that status that they should be engaged in this discussion? Because you want to engage the police, youth club them. They want to do something in them community, engage them. The teachers them are totally different kettle of fish. Because the teachers them are extortionists. Yeah man, the teachers them are extortionists long time. My PMP and them are extortionists. Graduating dunce, graduating people who can't read and write and get up and talk about them want this and them want that like them a siren. Graduating dunce. Promoting people from grade 7 who can't read at grade 7 to grade 8 and them a call with read about money. We still have to talk to them because they're all we have got. They're all we have got. We don't have nothing more, them we have. But them only concerns about money. And what the problem with teachers, why they mean so much money is because every time they meet a raise a pay, they buy a bigger vehicle. Or them do some kind of crap. Because them know them can come stick up government and hold up government and go out there and chat foolishness. It's a long-standing thing with our teachers. Never satisfied. Not that we don't deserve it, you know. Some of them do, but some of them, most of them does not. Some teachers deserve a little more. The rest of them no. You know, hustlers and extortionists. In their school, they sell phone card and biscuit and chocolate and God knows what else. And graduating dunce and promoting people who can read at one level to a higher level. And out there scream bloody murder out and want money. We're not asking for an extra maths teacher. We're not asking for 2 more blackboard. No, we don't want money to go buy a big car. As a phone thing that. The civil society group of 28 need to go sit them ass down. Because government is elected by the people. And government is answerable to only the people. Only the people. And the government must not make the mistake. The government cannot make the mistake of hobnobbing with groups of people that does not represent anybody. It's 5 of them. 5 of them, 9 of them group there now. No more than 5 of them. 6 if you find, if you can find, if you can go as far as 5, 6. Them don't represent anybody. Jamaican for Justice or NIA or Environmental Trust. I don't know what they do. I don't know where they are doing what. Why should we engage them? Government is government. There's no co-government. And government cannot allow these people to hold them to ransom, believing that they have some kind of power to hold them to ransom. And telling them that this is what they must do. Yes, Miss Teresa, Dr. Teresa Rodriguez Moody. Government will get criticized. Come on, people, they're not sharing the life. Share the life. Government must get criticized. We are telling government that them, what is that? And because Matalan him still on him campaign. Every foolishness on the same print it. Government must accept criticism. Must. Government can't help criticism. People criticize government every day. Are you stupid woman? You have a doctorate and chat them kind of foolishness. Criticize if you are criticized. But you come out to say government must accept criticism. Your criticism is that you're coming out to say that government must accept criticism. What the hell is wrong with you? Who do you think so we are in that out here? Because you have a doctorate, you think you can come out and say that foolishness. Everybody will say you say something great. It is stupid. Government must. You come out to criticize government by saying that government must accept criticism. What you have to say? What exactly do you have to say? Mrs. Rodriguez Moody, what is wrong with you? The problem with you are not too overeducated and so overeducated and stupid. Una so anxious to knock government around that we're not thinking straight. Nobody is going to have any engagement with you. None. Because you don't represent any body of people. Government is the largest social engineers in this country. Ministers of government are doctors. They are supermarket. Members of parliament, them are doctor, them are supermarket, them are pharmacy, them are order, them are wholesale. Yeah, them are plane ticket, them are every damn thing. People get a prescription, go ask MP. Want 2 bag of cement, I go check my counselor. Who checking UNO for anything? Who checking UNO for anything? Government is not a group of people joining together with some other group of people. They are just government. What Mrs. Mallow Fort and Peter Bunting and Mark Golding and all the rest of those who, what do you call them? Civil society who wants to be engaged. This must be the only democracy. This must be the only democracy in the entire world where you have groupings of people coming out on a daily basis and telling you that the people who are elected by the people must cede them powers to other people. I mean, this must be the only democracy. Where on the face of this earth can you find a minister of government must not be in charge of a ministry when if things fall apart down there, him, female? These people, including Mrs. Malawford, want NARA to be reorganized so that government power be given to statutory bodies, state bureaucracies, state agencies, oversight bodies, regulatory bodies. Hold on there. Who elect those people? Who elected those people? Cede government power and authority given to them by the voters of this country, and they mustn't be in charge of the ministry, and they mustn't be in charge of anything. Some people must be hired in the ministry, and you divest government power to these people. I would wonder why we were so far behind in terms of development, because that is what they made do all this time, divesting government power to some bodies of people who divested to them friend, and them friend, them picnic, and nothing reaches poor people. The only persons in this country in government who has the legal authority to spend the people's money is government. The people who were elected by the people, for the people, we the people. And every time something coming up to help the people, where government can help the people, everybody come up. The opposition, them can't help themselves. Them don't want nothing happen. Them see it is such a good thing that they want to mash it down. Because if it happen, they're going to be in opposition forever. So I hope the people of Westmoreland and the people of St. Elizabeth and St. Mary and all them people take note. Them don't want it happen because they don't want to get nothing. Them problem is not that the minister are in charge of the money. And them problem that, them problem is that them are in charge of the money. What is it? It's a simple matter. The minister in charge of ministry. And if NARA is part of the whole thing, and is the minister in charge of hiring people, everything come back to the ministry. Yes! In them elect. Nobody elect Mr. Bureaucracy. Nobody elect Mrs. Statutory Body. Nobody elect Massa Agency. Nobody elected them. We elected members of parliament who then become ministers. And they are the ones we are holding accountable because come election day, I feel them bottom in a vice. And them we are talk to. And them people are supposed to play at pan. Them. Who you think people are supposed to play at pan? Statutory bodies? Executive agencies? Huh? State bureaucracy? Nobody knows who those people are. No. It's one of the worst thing is for a minister to tell you, boy, my hand tied. My hand tied, me can't help. A man say the minister, you want to see that little place around, that little gully, so one bush out that thing broke off, you know. Boy, my hand tied because I have to put it through there, so, and the ministry, and them have to sign off, and you have to bring one paper. Take away the power that the people of this country have given to the minister. And who want to take it away, including Mrs. Mallowfoot, because she don't have none. But we understand for her problem. No cliff. Not at all. Civil society is not an option. Because everybody is asking the government in this whole narrow thing. That is all about, you know. You can read all the fine prints and read all the arguments, but the whole thing is all about who in charge of what. Who going to make it happen? Who going to be in charge of the money, the process, the people employed, how the thing going to go? Who must be in charge of that? Let's ask the Jamaican people. Let us ask the Jamaican people who voted on September 3rd, who must be in charge of that? Who would vote for to be in charge of this thing? Who? Who would voted for? And every time when you open your mouth about corruption, we are talking about the 28th in the parliament and the 28th out of the parliament. Every time when you open your mouth about corruption, you don't know what the response of the Jamaican people is. So what? You don't get it? You scream corruption for about 5 years. And September 3rd, Jamaican people say, so what? Because every time them hear they look down and say, so what? What do you know? What do you do? What do you used to do? The Jamaican people not interested in an argument about corruption because the Jamaican people know that the whole are corrupt. Both them in the government and them in the opposition and out the road. Because Jamaican people have it pat. So every time you open about corruption, them say, yeah, so what? Corruption, so what? We vote for Mr. Holness. Corruption, so what? Him have him third term. Corruption, so what? Back in government. Scream at the top of the lungs about corruption. Because you don't want to be in charge of things that you're not in charge of. And government must surrender them powers to bodies. Legislative bodies, regulatory bodies, agencies, oversight bodies, state agencies, all of that. Which now bring us into the same problem with the NSWMA. Now Miss Karen, I don't even know why she have my name. I look for her what's your name. Karen something. Find her for you. I'm going to tell her now. What's her name? I remember her name. Her full name. Miss Karen Watson. For the know I got tag her for me. Miss Karen Watson is the internal auditor at the NSWMA. And Miss Karen Watson thought she would do this audit and thought she would go out and pass it around to media and go out with all kind of things for one simple reason. Me get the information, Miss Karen. Me get you, me have your part. Me have your part. Miss Karen problem is simple, just like the rest of you. She think that she is the auditor and everybody inside of the government agencies, the agency that she's the auditor for, everybody inside they answer to her because she is the auditor. She believes that she have the power. She don't believe the executive director should have no power. She don't believe nobody on the board should have any power. Nobody should have, she have the power, she have the executive auditor. She believes that if she put forward somebody to be hired and then do interview, and if this person even get 10 out of 10, she believes that she should choose that person. And that is our problem. Matalan now go check it out. Now I don't mean if Clifton go check it out, but Matalan not interested in that. Matalan interested in the headline for her to attack the NSWMA and attack the leadership of the NSWMA because she wants to have control of the power that was given to the people who have the power by the people who were elected to give that power. Nobody elect Karen Watson. You're a damn auditor. Audit. Present your findings in the correct way. Yeah, look some kind of sympathy to way to get some kind of excitement going out the road. Them should fire your ass for breach of, something. Bad behavior, something. You're doing a preliminary audit and you call up the entire world and share it with them because you never get the person who you want to get the job. Because the person who them hire for the work, you sidelined that person and didn't give her anything to do for the entire time since them hire because you believe you're in charge of something, Miss Karen Watson. You're not in charge of anything. What's wrong with you now? We'll take a break. Miss Karen Watson is internal auditor at the NSWMA. And I have a whole heaps of information. But primary and the most important of the information is that Miss Karen has been gone in to create mischief in the agency because she believes with all her heart, just like all of them in the various ministries believe, that they are the power because everybody are called the minister or the agency executive chief. So all of them believe that they have the power, that somebody actually elect them and give them this power. The board of NSWA should fire her. We should stop letting them people that walk around and create mischief and create shadow of suspicions. And give Jamaican people, when Matalan put out, to think that something going on. When all she's running is a vengeance campaign. Do you believe, any of you, believe that Karen Watson could work with Matalan or the Big Nelson or any one of them and do that crap what she do? Do you believe that she could do that? Do you believe that she could do that in any private sector organization? Where she interviewed some people and she decided that these are the persons who should be hired, and the board said no, they may hire. They might not have the qualifications as where you believe this one have, but they may have the sense. And we are going to people with a little bit of qualifications but better sense. You know who made that decision? The people who the government placed in that agency to make those decisions. And that would be the executive director and in team and in board. You quarrel about who they're on board. What does that have to do with you, Karen Watson? Now, listen to the ridiculousness of all of this. This woman is on some kind of vengeance motion where she believes that her power is being usurped because she is the auditor. I'm the auditor. And if I audit this and I say this, you all should follow this, follow your ass. Nobody elected to do anything. Nobody. It's a job you have. Do your job. Audit. Find out if the money are thief and tell we. Show we how we thief or who thief it. We'll come out to come go out with peer things. But do not steal the people in the agency and believe that you have any kind of power to decide who gets hired and who doesn't. No, you do not have that kind of power. And if you feel like that is a power and somebody will take it from you, go make a complaint to somebody else. I don't know who, but somebody. The entire thing is about usurping government power. The entire thing is about taking away the power and the control of the people who we elect and gave that power and control to. That is what the whole thing is about, and it's all started with Mark Jefferson Golding believing that he is co-prime minister and somebody should meet with him about stuff. I'm upset with the prime minister training. Pisses me off sometimes, you know. Not telling the prime minister pisses me off sometimes. Behaving like he's a Mr. Nice Guy. Now you believe there are things that are not supposed to happen. The Department of Justice in the United States, there are certain departments that no matter who the president is, them don't mess with them don't politicize them. But my good friend Donald Trump said, "Oh, idiot, me a president, and me a said that, and me the people elect, and at that me say, go investigate them ass there." It's not usual. I'm a president. I am the people them elect. You think I disagree with anything Mr. Trump do? Absolutely not. I agree with everything that him do. Because him them elect. I said, and them knew what they were getting. They knew what they were getting and they elected him to go do it. You chat crap? No why you know yes sir. You don't want to attack, I fire you. Do about your business. I remember during the whole thing back in his first presidency, there were some FBI guys who was sending WhatsApp message among them each other, talking about how them hate him. And Trump engineer a thing for him ass. Fire him about 3 weeks before him pension due. Couldn't get that pension about Biden come and reverse it and give him pension. Trump fire him ass. But about 3 days before him pension due. Them couldn't get him pension. Just because him chat too much and chat crap about the president. You don't do that. Are you saying that shouldn't happen? You and I disagree, you know. You and I would disagree on many things. I disagree with Mr. Trump on some things. But most things, no man. Send them home. All of whom are send them home, send them ass home. Because he told you that if you elected him, he's going to throw them ass out. And people elected him to throw them ass out. Now my Prime Minister, my 1 PM, he's too much of a nice guy. When Bunting, criminal Bunting, who woman tie up with them panty in a hotel when he was Minister of National Security, couldn't even secure him damn dick. But he was Minister of Security. Couldn't even secure him drawers. Woman tie him up with for them drawers and have him totally can't move. And then him come up, him come tell government how to run things. Man, just one thing about it. It's bomb too no. You believe you can beat down the Prime Minister because him soft and all the rest of it. And you come to beat down everybody and beat down government. The country is not with you now. You don't get it. The country not with you now. You can't incite a revolution. There's no revolution. Revolution need conditions to actually happen. There's no conditions for a revolution. People have jobs. People have bill. Money have gone. Medicine mash up down, so it's slowly a comeback. Not as fast as some people would have it, but it's coming back. Jamaica is doing well. You can't incite a revolution. Plus, the biggest handicap you have is uno. Uno not attractive. Uno not motivational. Uno not inspirational. Uno can't incite nothing. So every time you open your mouth, all you do is set up Jamaican people say all uno. You see all uno. Huh? You see all uno. That's all the Jamaican people saying when Jamaican people soon are here, you know. Beating down everything. But the people who voted for uno, particularly those in Manchester and those in Westmoreland who voted for uno. And one argument we have to tell uno, you know. Uno watch what them doing and watch what them saying. And the only thing the Prime Minister has to do is talk to the country. Talk to the people. And your people, I'm Mr. Wallace. Not another people out here. Every single person in this country belongs to you, sir. Those who voted for them and those who voted for you. And your people, and you're the Prime Minister, go talk to your people and don't make them people here try to manangle you. Because them think you're an idiot. And them can't manangle you. Talk to the people, them. Dean Jackson Miller and I agree on that. Go talk to the people, man. Throughout the whole election, you out there talk to people. Go talk to people. What's happening you now? Go talk to people, man. Drop some of the damn blasted office thing, them. Drop some of the meeting them and come talk to the people. Tell we want to go on with Nara. Tell we want to go on with it. Make them stay over as a quarrel. Just tell we want to go on. Explain to we how it's going to help. Go talk to the people of Manchester and St. Elizabeth and well, you know me not care much about Westmoreland. But go talk to the people them down there too. Tell them what go on about it. And how it's going to benefit them. and then tell them why Mark Golding and Peter Bunting them don't want it to happen. Because none of them are do it. That's all it is. Pure, simple bad mind. It's always been that. It's always been that. Pure and simple bad mind. That them don't want it happen because like that. But Miss Karen Watson, back to you a little bit. The higher body in any organization has the right to hire anybody they want to hire. And if you feel that this should be your job, you need to go join a party and go walk somewhere and ask people to vote for you for something. But you don't send the people them agency and carry grievances and feelings because their hiring practices don't suit you. And then putting out one heap of garbage out in the public sphere. What I look at somebody now read it and follow you up with your foolishness. And now I tell them that it's a grievance thing you follow. Yeah, you put forward some people. Some people came and interview for the work. Some have 27 with CXC and one have 3. The one with 3 better than the one with 27. Good hire. Ask Bunting. Ask Bunting. I have witnessed him sit down and interview a university student for work and get very frustrated after about 5 of them because one of them have qualification up to Kazoo and come out saying one of my idiots. Take a cue from that. So if you think Mrs. Ting with the 20 at CXC should have get the work over Miss Ting with the 3 CXC but have more sense and it's more in tune with Wagwan than Miss Ting with the 23, then you go start something and hire and don't send the people them agency and make no trouble and make no worries about nothing because you now that is basically all I have to say on that. The Nara thing and that. There are a couple more things that I want to just touch on about that. But let me just say this very quickly. There's only one government at a time. One. One government at a time. There's no co-government. There's no deputy government. There's no assistant government. Get it? None. Just one government. One prime minister. One PM. One government. Philip Palwell. We have passed the stage where we think that I don't even know. I don't know. Let me not go this up. I really don't know. But I'm watching a performance in the parliament at Bunting's behest, trying to tear down the Speaker of the House. I'm watching all over. Trying to, because Bunting's and Mark Golding's problem is Mrs. Holness in the parliament. And Mrs. Holness will lock off Mike Pandem. Now Bunting can't war with Mrs. Holness. And I mean, not even a parliamentary war. Because Mrs. Holness just needs to do one job, and that is to observe the rules and the standing orders of the parliament. When you can't kill yourself after that. But what I saw you went on with you, Philip Palwell, you may talk after Bunting bill file upon you for destroy you. After Bunting and Angela and Paul Burke them destroy you. You get up and carry water for Bunting and run interference for him in a parliament, going after the Speaker of the House for no particular reason. For not breaking the rules, but just being the Speaker of the House. What is it about Mrs. Holness that really irks the whole house so bad? Strong black woman, strong, smart, black, but do not do it. But you know, so have a thing, yeah, she control this and she's Mr. Oldest wife and that bother no too. Because you not a strong black woman, you don't know. Why you don't have a strong black woman with you, Philip Palwell? We can talk about a whole heap of things out here. But you're getting back on my damn nerves. I'm going to give you a warning tonight. If you have to run interference of Bunting in the parliament, and you think that Bunting will promise you something, And you know I like Bunting that Bunting promise you're not get it. But if you think you have to run interference for him to go after Mrs. Holness, let me advise you, Philip Fiani, see, Paulwell, cut it out. If I were you, cut it out. Because you really know what me and you won't meet. Go run your constituency. Go help people. Stop going like you're going to lead nothing. Because you're not going to lead anything. Don't go on like you're going to lead nothing. There's nothing you're going to lead. You are just being used. Like Damien and the rest of them. All of them is being used. So, the only conversation you're supposed to be having with Mrs. Holness in the parliament is when you say, Madam Speaker, and she give permission to speak. But whatever little angst you have about committee, listen to me, man. It's like you don't get it, you know. The Jamaican people don't want to hear nothing from you. Them don't want to hear nothing from you. Them done with you. Them alright. Them see them life be lifted. Them see the light at the end of the tunnel. Them see them children's lives being improved. Them a build other upon them house. Them they not done with you. But me and now go have some serious worries, you know. Me and a holy pound going after Mrs. Holness. And I'm going to take my war with him to a new level going after Mrs. Holness. Because Mrs. Holness have done more for this country than all I want to combine. Between Bunting and Philip Paulwell, Mrs. Holness have done more for this country. And I like Philip Paulwell or Peter Bunting to put out a list of young women that's going to help in their career other than the one them want to sleep with. Bunting, put out a list of young women that you have helped to lift themselves without sleeping with them. Show me a list. Because if we go between Uno and Mrs. Holness can produce a long list of young women who she have helped. Not help in terms of give them basic financial help, but help them in terms of lifting them up, building them up, inspiring them. Show them the path. Show them the way to be successful. She doing it quietly, because she not do it loudly. Me don't like the two of to produce a list. Especially you, Bunting. Apart from the side chick, we're talking about get your wife. That little nastiness we're talking about, you know, rumor has it. Apart from she, show me one young lady, Peter Bunting, that you have helped, that you never have to sleep with her first. When you go after Mrs. Holness, I want you remember, so me ask you to do that. Me I tell you this, Mercat, when you hear me good, Mercat. Me your brethren, me Mercat, you know some love you. But hear me, Mercat. The next time you try to go after Mrs. Holness, try and remember I said this to you. Show me a list of young women that you have helped since you have been in politics to build their lives, but you never slept with them. Show me what I'm listening. So next time you set up somebody or you decide to go after the speaker for no particular reason. Listen, una members of parliament and the people that make shabby choices when they choose people like you. Member of parliament who have a right to question the speaker. But the only answer with the speaker is if she not following the rules and the standing orders. And if you don't like it, you can walk out. I will tell you from the beginning, buy comfortable shoes, walk out as often as you want, because nobody gives a rat ass whether you walk out or in or stay. Nobody cares about that. So when you're going after the speaker of the house for no particular reason, no reason that is within parliamentary reasoning, none but personal and vindictive, down inciting war and contention. You know, something like the come by YouTube a couple of weeks. Really, you know, like just chill for a couple, look a bit of time. But if we continue this, I'm going to ramp it up, because I'm building a new set of arsenal for the ass. All I know. And I'm going to ramp it up and start fire it off out the pound if we don't start behaving yourself. Nobody's saying that we should not question the speaker. Nobody's saying that we shouldn't stand up in the parliament for the right. We better show some goddamn respect and stop behaving like we're some kind of hooligans. We're not dirty man. Well, Paul couldn't protect his baby man and his baby. And you bunting walk around and fling your seat on every young woman that asks you for help. What's wrong with you? You're not a portion of good man. You're not a good man. You're not a fresh man. You're not a fresh man. You're not a good man. How much wives have you ever had, Bunting? You're a fresh man. Paul can't protect nobody. He's a fresh man too. You don't get no attack the Speaker of the House. What is the vendetta? With the Speaker of the House. We know what is vendetta. Because he married to Sandra, who's a black woman. And he was forced to marry to Sandra after him rape her consistently and breed her and never want to marry her. He can't stand it. So we know what is his angst. But what exactly is Funo angst? What is Funo angst? Especially you, Paul, I run interference in Bunting. Get up and attack the Speaker. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. Talking about the Speaker and committees. Speaker of the House is Speaker of the House. I fear our house. What was I to do? I fear our house. That's how the system set. If you don't like it, go and make people vote for you and make it before the house. But as it stands right now, at the Speaker House and a Funo House, she can do anything she wants within the standing orders. Yeah, I hear you. I see it. So, anyone who believe that we can just get up in the day of the week and fling all kind of things into the Parliament and the Speaker, then me not a quarrel with you. Do it. Do it, man, and then we'll talk about it. Because me not hold no bars. And me not take prisoners coming in a camp. And my mouth don't join no church. Not at all. My mouth is for speaking. And God give me a gift. And God give me a job. And me I carry through to the end. Until the good Lord say, okay, Karen. That's it. So open up your mouth and I'm going to open up mine. And the whole way I'm going to have it out. And that's how it's going to be going forward. So let me say this once again to my Prime Minister, 1 p.m. Listen to Diane Jackson Miller. And boy, it tastes like ash coming out of my mouth, but listen to Diane Jackson Miller. She's right. Talk to the people then. You spend 2 years on the road talking to the people and go back and talk to them again. Tell them about this thing here. Let them see you. Let them hear from you. So every time that rapist Mark Gold in what me mouth, they won't be listening to him, they'll be listening to you because them see you. But now all the mouth when me now hold my mouth when is concerned. Not at all. I have now hold my mouth. And all I know were out there, that 28 civil society, and don't draw my tongue either. I tell you no. Because where una birth from is from the deepest depths of dirtiness. And if you don't want, we can have conversations about it. Because me now hold my tongue. Because where Uno come from. Uno is the offshoot of something started very nasty with one man trying to cleanse him past and build something good. And I figure I'm in the background guiding Uno and giving advice. Shout, make noise until I'm invited to the table. Uno now get an invitation to the table. Uno have to sit on a roadside and eat that patty. No invitation to the table. Because it's not that we feel that somehow we might not be deserving. But for the last 2 years, we established ourselves as mouthpieces for the People's National Party. There was no independence and no fairness. There was no patriotism coming out of any of you. All of you came at the government for one bad reason or the other. There was no ever good reason why was coming at the government. And even if you could come at the government with good reason, it was so laced with political vitriol. It was so embedded into PNP-ness and hatred that nobody couldn't hear, because it was pure mud. Plop, 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 plop. That's it. So how could we trust anything we say? We can't see what we not do. And we want to hold government accountable. We want to tell government that they must see them power. Minister mustn't be in charge of nothing and not around the mad. Nobody elected people elect the minister. And him can't divest in power. Because that wasn't part of the deal. with him and the people that will vote for him. The deal was simple. We have vote for you. Go do something for we. What do you think this is about? That's all it ever was about. We have vote for you. Go do something for we. The Jamaican voters, them very vote, you know. They want Andrew Holness to run the country. But you see the ministers, them vote for them, for do something for them. The MPs, them. Go do something for we. Me vote for you, know. Do something for we. Whatever that something is. But you don't like him set up a committee or a body or a statutory body or an agency to come run when we elect him to run. But if him do that, we're not going to get nothing. And first of all, if him do it, it not going to start. It's going to take forever to start. That's the first thing. Second thing, we're not going to do nothing for now. And then we're not going to thief half of the money. And then come out every day, come criticize and change things. By the time you look at 10 years and we don't get nothing yet. Don't listen to me, man. What do you think so we don't know what they say, yeah? A years we do this, you know. A years we do this politics, man. We know how the thing work. We know it go. Unlike black women, so they're going after Mrs. Holness. Let's slow it down a little bit. Civil society still going at Mr. Cham about body camera and rape. We don't have nothing to do. Seriously, we don't have nothing to do. We don't have anything to do. Whenever you believe that you have the right to tell the Minister of National Security how he should secure the Jamaican people, how he should go about ensuring our safety, you believe you have that right to give him advice on that. But it's not advice. You want to come out in the public and you want to quarrel with him. Because you want to hear somebody hear your voice and matter and put it on the front page and paper to say that you say that the minister should do this. Minister don't have to do anything that you say. Minister don't have to listen to you. And let me tell you again, Cliff, you're wrong up. Them are not stakeholders. Them not have no stake in this. Which steak, by the way? The one where you jam in the ground or the steak where you eat? Because them not have no stake in this. None at all. No busy with we. Them would have glad go up on TV, go talk about how bad things are because them have curfew down at Jerusalem now for the last 6 months. And we have to lock up at 6 o'clock. Them don't like go up on TV and up on them radio show and up on the newspaper talking about how curfew, the whole country lockdown because criminals have gone wild. And the government needs to get this under control. That's what they want. But guess what? When the curfew are going on up for them ends. And our ends. And when the killing take place, and we is our people dying, not theirs. So they don't care. It don't matter to them. So Mr. Cham will continuously tell all of them to go themselves. That's all. Because it's a film job to keep we safe and to ensure the police do for them work to keep us safe. Them give take them 28 organizations, multiply that by 5 apiece because no more than 5 of them in any of them organizations. Some of them are 1. But then let's give them 5 and let them multiply to get the numbers. We're going to meet and go into some communities and start do these things and talk about these things that you don't want to talk about. Go up, come to Jerusalem, go to Balcom Drive, go Marvelly, go talk to people about policing and criminality. Go on up. What don't go on? Go on, man, put yourself together 28 hours multiply by 5 each time and 28 times and when you go on yourself, spend some of the money, want to say, no, no money now. Jamaicans for justice. We're not going to get the money. We're not going to lose money. But the one already, you know, we're not going to lose money constantly. We're not going to lose more. We're not going to lose more. We're not going to do nothing for the country. No go, man. I don't want to hear nothing from you. Mr. Prime Minister, the Parliament building need to go up, sir. And as a Prime Minister of the country, Mr. Wallace, well, listen to me carefully, sir. As a Prime Minister of the country, your responsibility is to get things done. Well, you have a responsibility, but that get things done. When you say you're going to do something, go do it. When them start arguing with you about where you get the money from to do it, start with where you have. I'm going to look more. But do it. Start the damn Parliament. Stop listening to Mark Golding. Do what you need to do to ensure that the parliamentary procedures are followed. And give the opposition all the leeway that they want to oppose. And get up and chat crap and be clowns. But get it done, sir. Because you say you would. And my mother always tell me that part of your character, great part of your character, if you say you're going to do something, do it. Mr. Audrey, you say you're going to do it. Now watch them play them. Make Grace watch them play them. Tootsie, you said that you're going to wash the plate them and she should sweep the yard, so go and do it. But me sweep the yard and she will, when you get end up to the two things because you already say you're going to do it. I would argue my mother about that. If you say you're going to do something, just do it. It's a mark of good character. Do it, man. Don't make us start questioning the character because you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. Because Mark Golding get up and start fly off the level like a damn mad white man. Don't make these people hold the country to ransom, sir. They have a responsibility as opposition members. They don't take that responsibility serious. The only thing that interests them is to oppose and beat down and mash down and to try to make things do reach Jamaican people. That's all they're doing. You do the courtesy of the parliament and then leave them to their own devices and let the people who voted for them hold them to account for all of that. But you, sir, you have a greater responsibility, a far greater responsibility that all of them combined, the 28 and the next 28 combined together, can't even begin to fathom that greater responsibility. Our goodwill internationally so high, it has never been so high. Our goodwill internationally. Basically, you can top the phone and call anybody and beg them $1 million and get it. You can top the phone and call anybody as you're starting the parliament building, beg you $1 million and get it. That's where we are as a country. That's where we are internationally as we're standing, sir. With you as Prime Minister. So stop effing around with them clowns. And let them drag you like a rag doll and telling you what you can and cannot do. Because the people of this country elected 35 of you. And tell you, say, Uno go and go run things. That was about, you know. We elect Uno 35, Uno go and go run things. You continue to run things. That's what it means. It don't mean anything else. Uno go and go run things. And if come next time around, they feel like you never run things the way that they wanted you to run things. And never, it's a boil down to where them never get and where them never see you. They are hold you accountable, sir. They are. All the marbles are lined up in your favor. All the ducks are not in a row. Because Mrs. Mallow gone off the reservation. But don't pay Mrs. Mallow no man. But basically everything lined up. You as a leader, you have to move it. You have to put people in place and put things in place and really don't give a rat's ass about what they have to say about who's in charge of what. Because nobody elected them as a government. They are opposition. And I keep going, I have so much other things that I want to talk about, but I just feel like I can't talk about those other things tonight. Nobody elected them. People look at them. People heard them screaming corruption. People heard them screaming about this, not good, who are thief. People heard them. The entire world heard them. And people flew down from Miami and Canada and New York and Atlanta. And they came in their green and they voted. I said, we hear them. but we now listen to them. And the Jamaican people went out in their numbers and they say, yeah, we hear them a march. But we now listen to them. You want to run things. You. Tell save right and the rest of them. And get this thing going. And start making people believe that somebody gave them some power. Because nobody give them the power. Ministers must not let civil servants or bodies or in their ministries running any kind of rings around them or telling them what they should and should not do. Don't break the law. But you're the minister. You have a responsibility to Jamaican people to deliver goods and services. It's not just to run the country and look good internationally and build relationships. What to deliver? Don't forget the word deliverance thing. We must go back to that. Deliver, man. And stop playing pussyfooting around with them idiots here, telling you what you can and cannot do. Do not break the law. Do not rob poor people money. Make it reach them. Set the thing in motion and make the thing reach people. And if there are processes to be followed, make the processes catch up. Don't break the law, but make the processes catch up if the process is too slow. And get the things out to people with the government. Any housewife in this country, any woman with 8 pick, they're earning 15 or 16,000 a week, will be able to do it. Get it done. And don't listen to them chatting foolishness about stuff. You know? I have to mention that Mr. Arbin Hill said the rich people them illicit. You know, some of the wrongs them in this country. Boy, Arbin Hill, I don't like your ass. I don't think you should be a minister. I think you should go your yard, quite frankly. I don't know if you intend to be a politician, but what a sad day in Jamaica would that be? If you decide that you're going to be a politician and actually run for a seat and people actually take you serious and go vote for you. But this that you said, best thing you ever said. Keep talking about that kind of thing. You might have a future in politics if you keep talking about those things. I know you think you do, but you might. If you keep calling out rich people and telling them complicit in all the illegal activities that are going on in this country. Don't make us start on that, because we could start in Montego Bay and come right across until we reach Kingston. I could call me what them name too. That won't do that. But you keep talking about because you're one of them rich people. I mean, you said that. Must be so. Because you said that. You know? I hear that one thing that those 28 clowns across the aisle keep doing is doing videos of their constituencies about things. Road and all kind of thing. People like Rumor has it. Miss Rumor. Talking about roads to be fixed in her constituency. But I don't really take poor people for you there, don't it? In Nikisha Bircham, you really take poor people for you there? That you're going to do a video. The roads in the constituency, and this road has not been fixed for the last 50 years, and we want the government to fix the roads in the constituency. Do you think the people of South St. James stupid that them road want fix for the last since independence, and then blame Omar Davis, and they blame, but the PMP one with name Derek, they blame him, and now you was the MP and you are telling them say the road that people because of the government, you think say is the government them quarreling with for fix the road, Miss Nikisha? Go and wait till 2030 and you'll find out who them quarreling with about fixing the roads. Keep doing videos. Don't stop. Do video. Every time you see a road, do a video. And say the government needs to fix the roads and the roads. Keep doing that. Don't stop. Keep that up. Keep that up. Don't stop. All right. Now, I'm not going to talk about the people in shelter thing, although it was one of the things that I was talking about, that I wanted to talk about. Now, last week or the week before, might have been last week or the week before, I don't know. I was not feeling so hot. So it might have been one of them week there. Some days I don't know which was last week or which was the week before. It's a good thing. Some days you must get up and don't know what day today is. If you're not experiencing that, you're not living. Truly, you're not living. What day is today again? Oh yeah, Tuesday. Right, everything's on Monday. If you're not having one of those days every now and then, you're not living, man. You need to check yourself. Last Sunday, this Sunday gone, the PNP had their NEC meeting. I did some videos the other day talking about the pedophiles. The first video I did was telling the story about Gabriel Matzneff, a French literary giant in the French literary industry, who groomed a 13-year-old girl. Groomed her from she was 13 and sexually abused her for 2 years. I told you the story in the video. It's on my YouTube channel for those of you who have not watched it yet. And he was doing it openly. Everybody in the French literary world knew. They celebrated him. He was a great guy, talented. I don't know. All his works are in French. Can't find nothing for him in English. Because I didn't know him before, and I'm looking for things for him in English. Everything is in French. So I don't know how great his literary work is, but according to most, he was a great literary genius. Groomed the 13-year-old girl for 2 years. Told her things like what Dayton Campbell tell one of my witnesses, that she's bright and she's wonderful and she's mature for her age and nobody will understand the relationship between him and her because she operating from a different level, him and her. Grooming. And the entire France knew. Everybody knew. Took her out, pick her up at school, bought her gifts, carried her to dinner parties, everything. All his friends, his colleagues, they gave him awards. He wrote about his abuse of this girl consistently in books and diaries. He wrote about her, wrote about his relationship with her, and they read it and they called it art and literature. And they gave him awards. And one brave journalist went on television and called it what it was: child sexual abuse. And they almost killed her. And then, decades after, that one 13-year-old wrote the story herself, her story. And it was at that time that the whole thing came tumbling down and him have to run away, go hide himself somewhere after she wrote the story. Then I told the second story, which everybody knew about, with Harvey Weinstein. And everybody learned of the Harvey Weinstein thing in 2017. But 20 years before that, 20 years before that, Rose McGowan, a Hollywood actress, came in some local low budget movies and stuff, but her career was growing, was telling Hollywood and the entire world that Harvey Weinstein raped her and forced her to perform oral sex on him at the Sundance Film Festival in 1997 or 98, I think. And Instead of listening to her, Hollywood blacklisted her. Them call her crazy. Them say she have mental issues. Roles that she had, she lost them. No agent was taking her call. Nobody was listening to her. The media was also complicit. That when they talked to her, they basically was saying, but why not quietly talk about this? Why is so loud? But she was loud for 20 years before they caught up with him. One woman was talking about it. Took the world 20 years to catch up. By the time Ronan Farrow and the other fellow did the expose, Rose McGowan's career was destroyed already because the people in power was protecting him, Harvey Weinstein, just like the people in France was protecting Gabriel Matzneff. Institutions and power brokers were protecting these men. Obama's eldest daughter interned with Weinstein Company on her gap year from college before she entered college. At the same time that Rose McGowan was shouting from the top of her lungs, said, this man is not good. He's a bad guy. She lost it all. The Me Too movement catch up after Harvey Weinstein get catch and him got out of prison. The Me Too movement, everybody celebrate that. But Rose McGowan's life was destroyed. Totally. I mean, she's an activist now. And she got the recognition that she deserved now. But her acting career was destroyed because she refused to stay silent. Then the third story I told you about was in Italy. With Franco Viola, a 17-year-old girl who had a relationship with a man, and because she wanted to leave the little dead end town that them come from in Sicily, she break it off and tell him that she go in places, she'll leave, she'll go on road, go look, she'll go different places. Him and some whole heap of mafia guys went to her house, kidnapped her and gang raped her for 8 days. And Italy had the law that says that in order for her to redeem herself and get back her honor, she have to marry her rapist. And it was a law. Penal Code 544 of the Italian it was a law. And she refused. And she reported. And then prisoned him, and she became the first woman in the entire Italy to go against that law. After the man raped her. Italy had a law in 1965, by the way, not 1865, that says if you get raped, the only way that you can redeem yourself as a woman and not being looked upon as a disgrace is to marry the man that raped you and go bear children for him and pretend like you're a happy family. And she said no. And the 3 videos designed to help other young women, to tell them that it's never too late for you. Never too late. And I'm speaking specifically to some young ladies I know watching. It's not too late. Any time when you're ready, it's not too late for you to get Dayton Campbell. Never too late. Anytime when you're ready. Anytime when you feel brave and feel like you can manage it, it's never too late. Remember that. Never too late. And at the NEC on Sunday, I asked a question of somebody. I said, did they bring up the matter of Dwayne Vaz and Julian Chang? And she said, yes, they did. And I said, was it an item on the agenda? And she said, no. It was an item that came up in any other business. Imagine that. An item, a disciplinary matter that was sent to the disciplinary committee with Fenton Ferguson about a member of parliament who was behaving like a sexual predator towards a sitting councillor, and it was not on the agenda, it is any other business. And the results of that and the any other business was that one, Julian Chang must be placed back on the constituency executive. She must. So she is back on the constituency executive if she feel like doing it. I don't even know why would she want to. But then, them also said that she do have to be in the constituency WhatsApp group. I want to listen to me, you know. I want to listen to me. Dwayne Vaz, a member of parliament for Central Westmoreland, sexually through language, text messages, through bullying tactics, abusing the sitting councillor Julian Chang. And this pedophile organization called the People's National Party that cover up and protect these guys, punishing her, not him. And they came back from them, because the only thing I was interested in is this from the NEC. And they came back with their decision, and the decision is she must be back on the executive, but she can't be in the WhatsApp group because that's not a part of the Constitution. The Constitution don't speak to her being a part of it. She is being punished by the system, the organization that protecting these guys, Dayton Campbell and Dwayne Vaz. Young woman, listen to me. I want you to listen to me, darlings. It's never too late. Never too late. And I'm going to do an extended video on that because I'm doing some research on Keir Starmer and the Mendelssohn thing. It's a nasty thing. I think the parliament is going to, make a move on it. They're punishing Julian Chang and rewarding Dwayne Vaz. Because him there press conference, him each up beside Mark them, him and them each up beside them one another. But Julian Chang is being punished. Punished for speaking out against a guy. That's true, I hear it. It's cool, it's true. Punished for speaking out against a guy. What's in our text messages that him never see a Chinese pum pum yet and him want to see it. Punished because she speak out against it. And even at that point, them still accusing her at the NEC meeting of anti-party activities. Of course, something that them can't prove. Nobody can ever prove anti-party activities. What's anti-party activities? Punishing the councillor to protect the predator. Want to hear me, These are the people who are jump up in parliament attacking the Speaker of the House for holding them to the rules and regulations of the House, for exerting her power and authority as the Speaker of the House. The same guys attacking the Speaker of the House, punishing a sitting councillor in them party because she call out the predator. He is being covered just like France covered Gabriel Matzneff, just like how America covered and Hollywood covered Weinstein. These guys are being protected because, why? Remember I told you, when Mark Golding decided that he wanted Dayton Campbell to be him general secretary, he and I was still having conversation. I phoned him. And I said, what is wrong with you? You really, really should not be dating the General Secretary. I'm going to tell him why. And his response was, those things have been, Comrade Karen, those things have been going around for a while. I don't see no proof in all of them things there. And me and dating simpatico. For the life of me, I don't even know what that means. I trust him. And as somebody say in the United States, if you're hanging out and palling around with pedophile, then you are a pedophile. And he defended him and made him General Secretary. And I exposed them and they came after me. But that's how God works. I accept it. Because that is how God works. And them still protecting them pedophiles and them sexual predators. Them still protecting them, punishing Julian Chang, but protecting the guys. Why, Julian Chang? The only thing I can say to you is, it's never too late. It's never too late. And I got a little nut. Mark Golding's favorite activity. Is to disregard the truth about the men that we have around him. Disregard it. It's uncomfortable. It's inconvenient. Bury the truth. And let us live with the uncomfortable lies. And it's not just him. Bury the truth. We can live with the uncomfortable lies. Bury the truth. Sorry. For the comfortable lies. We can live with the uncomfortable truth and live comfortable with the lies. Let's bury the truth. Let's live with the comfortable lies. I said uncomfortable earlier. That's not what I meant. I mean comfortable lies. Bury the truth because it's inconvenient. Bury the truth because it will suit the narrative that we have now. Bury the truth because I need him to be my General Secretary, to do things for me when I ask him to do things for me. The movement of the People's National Party under the leadership of Mark Golding is built on comfortable lies and the denial of uncomfortable truths. But one day, justice is going to come for those girls. The young ladies of Northwest St. Anne, whose lives have been destroyed by Dayton Campbell. The young women of the People's National Party, quite a few of them who would love to talk about it, but because they put themselves in a position where somebody tell them, say, we're going to make you be the secretary for this, or we're going to make you be the leader of that, sleep with me, pass you around to that one day. It's never too late. Because this is an organization that is built on comfortable lies. The uncomfortable truth, you don't want it in here, sir. Angela Brown-Burke, Aluna Samba, Maureen Weber, Donna Scott Motley, Patricia Duncan Sutherland, all women who came out and back up Dayton Campbell and all who still backing up Dwayne Vaz and them. I want you to take a lesson. Go listen to the videos that I put out. It will catch up with you now. It must catch up with you now. And when I expose Mr. Keir Starmer with what him do and all the laws and when break by naming Mendelssohn ambassador, you know, see the whole thing tied together. Somebody brought that to my attention. I'm so glad that I started looking into it. Well, I started looking into Mendelssohn, but I wasn't tying the whole thing. But now I will. All I know, Angela Brownburg and Luna Samba, Maureen Weber, Patricia Duncanson and Dana Scott Batley, all I know gather around them and protect them at the expense of our young girls all over the country whom they have abused. Lisa Hanna, when she was over there, cares only about Lisa Hanna. Natalie Nita, Denise Daly, all I know, never ever stood up for those young ladies. It took Rose McGowan 20 years to bring down Harvey Weinstein. And I'm telling you, young ladies, it is never too late. Never too late. It took decades for Vanessa to write her story of what Gabriel Matzneff did to her. Decades before she write the story, before she find the right words to put it together about what happened to her between the age of 13 and 14. From a 49-year-old man who told the world in his literature, in his diaries, in his discussions, exactly what he was doing. He did interviews on television and spoke openly and candidly about his attraction to children. And the interviewers called it literature. For decades, did it catch up with him? Oh no, women in the PMP who have been covering these pedophiles, it must, it bound, it is signed and it is sealed in the name of God that it will come full circle. Without a doubt. I know that one day these girls will get the courage. I know that one day they will find the courage. It will not be too late. Never ever it will be too late. Never. To tell your story. And instead of dealing with that, when we over there try to be co-government and try to say if we can mash down government policies and government programs to benefit poor people, instead of dealing with that, we try to say if we can one up the Prime Minister and go like we're in charge of something. That's on the focus. That's on the focus. It's going to come tumble down and no. I promise you no. In the name of Jesus, I promise you no. It's going to come tumble down and no. And none of you is going to escape its wrath. Not one of you is going to escape its wrath. I'm going to close here, so I have a lot of things, but we're not going to go into some of the things then because it makes no sense in the way we have been going. Huh? But if anybody wants to call and say something, anybody want to call and say anything? Long time I don't hear from nobody. Anybody? Nobody? 596-1733. That's the number. Alright, let me see what someone is saying. Look on. Covered under the blood of Jesus. Me? I am covered under the blood of Jesus, and so is the pen. We are. Yeah? Somebody had texted me. Let me see what you were saying. I hear you. I hear you. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. All right. The bill pass. That's right. Bill pass. Hallelujah indeed. Kids meal. All right. All right. We can call tonight, can't we? Call tonight. You know? We can, can't we? Thank you so much all for tuning in and for listening to me. I really don't want to come on. I really don't want to come on every week, but since them doing them up to no good and them doing all of this crap, I'll probably have to come on again next week to see if I can set them straight again. What do you think? Huh? All right then. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you have not checked out any of the videos that I've done, please check them out. I'm going to do some more, but I'm going to do some more upbeat stories. I'm going to do some stories and some hero kids, children who did heroic deeds, and just to put a smile on your face, because those are hard to listen to. Thank you all so much. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and please remember, let's keep our children safe. All right. Good night. Stay safe.